How we doing today, man? Today was a pretty tricky day. It was a tricky day. We've had a interesting week, right? Yesterday we did really well. Tomorrow there is no trading, at least from me, because it is Good Friday, so the market's going to be different hours. But I came into the day with a bullish bias, and we made some mistakes. We took a bad, not a bad loss. We took a decent loss, a loss that we could have avoided, right? But it wasn't breaking our rules, right? So you guys know if I break my rules more than 2 times in a month, so 3 strikes, if I break my rules 3 strikes 3 times in a month, I will give away a funded, but you have to be in the Discord to get the funded, right? But if you were in there, right, it's free. I'll give away a funded account. So if I blow my rules 3 times, and you guys think that if you think I can't follow my rules for the whole month, then join the Discord and maybe get a free funded. But that's besides the point. I didn't break my rules today, which I'm very, very happy about. And, right, we took a loss. Our first trade today was a loss. Was really not even that big of a deal, right? And for the first time, I took a trade and took a loss, and it didn't really affect me too much. And I ended up being patient and taking a second trade and getting the day back to even, right? Because we're trading now again tomorrow, because tomorrow's not trading. I'll go over kind of my new plan, but I'll explain what I did today. But then tomorrow I'll kind of make a video on my new rules per se. But right, we're copy trading still, and both accounts were even on the day. So what did we do, right? Just to show you, two trades, one loss of 200, one win of 200, right? We're going for 1-to-1s here. What trade did I take first, right? This was the winner. I first want to go over the winning trade. Or let's go over you guys see this trade. I'll go over why I took this, but let's go over the loss first, because the loss was the bad trade. The loss was the bad trade, man. Or it wasn't bad, right? It wasn't terrible, but I could have done better. I really could have. ES is a lot more bullish than NQ, which is kind of interesting, right? We're a lot closer to these highs from 10 a.m. Because ES put in SMT early, we sold off. But yeah, this is pretty bad price action. So if you took some losses today, don't feel too bad about yourself, man. This was a really tricky day, in my opinion. But where did we go wrong, right? Coming into the day, let's get on to the NQ contract here. Coming into the day, what was I looking at, right? We were looking at, on the hourly, we had a we have a really choppy chart. I talked about this the other day. We have a very, very choppy chart, right? So I didn't have a great bias, but what I did have was this 1 hour gap marked out, and I wanted to see some sort of reaction off of it, or come down, and I have this low marked. It's actually a 15-minute low. I want to see some sort of reversal out of there, which we're getting slowly but surely, right? And I want to see some sort of reaction here. So what was I looking at early? I was looking at this 1 hour gap. This 1 hour gap ends up holding really well. At the time, we got a nice SMT at the lows here. This would have been a great 30-second long, but I wasn't looking for it. I'm pretty sure Dodgy took this. I didn't take this. This would be nice, right? You get in here, it would have traded 1 time, 2 times, and then it would have expanded towards take profit. But I didn't get that. We had an SMT at that low, and we had a 1 minute change in state delivery, right? The SMT was obviously here. This is the low that we didn't sweep on ES, but we did it on NQ. We end up closing above. We have a change in state delivery here. We trade back down, and then we trade back down, but I ended up getting in before this. So this is the 1 hour gap that we were holding and respecting. What was my entry? Well, my entry was this 5-minute inversion right here, because I thought that we were going to run towards this wick, and these low resistance highs. I got in with 1 micro contract, and I'll kind of just show you guys this trade, because I'm very, very happy with how I held the trade. I could have probably had a smaller stop loss, but I didn't, right? So I'll kind of show this now. That was the confluence behind it, but now I want to show the actual execution, right? We had this right here, right? We waited, and we got in, right? When the 5-minute closed. Cool. We had our stop at the low. Why did I keep it here? Well, because we had this 1 minute gap. We had the change in state delivery. We had the order block. We had the 5-minute inversion. There was a lot of confluences here. I didn't want to have my stop loss right here because we had this 1 minute gap that we could reject off of. and I didn't want to be too picky. I'll go over why this wasn't a good trade, but I do want to first emphasize the fact that I held my trade great, right? I held my trade great. This wasn't a great trade looking back, but it wasn't a trade that I took breaking my rules intentionally, right? And this is fine. These are the type of losses that you learn from, right? You want to take a loss and learn from it, right? I can learn from this loss because I can go back and see, okay, what went wrong? But I didn't close the trade early. I didn't over leverage. I didn't panic enter. I went in with a plan. I went in with a stop loss. I went in with good size, right? I could have probably left my stop loss there and lost a little bit less. I was kind of just seeing. But anyways, I'm super happy with how I held this trade, right? This was a normal retracement. We came back down to this change in state delivery and this fair value gap. So I want to see some sort of reaction. We end up tapping into this 1 minute gap and discount. And then we start getting a really nice move here. A really nice move. I was really happy with this. I was really happy with this move right here. And at this point, I really thought it was going to start playing out well, right? I was drawing in, thinking it was going to be an order block. And I really liked it at this point because we got the rebalance. I thought we would continue higher. This was at 10 o'clock, just opened. So really, what we ended up doing was just putting in the top wick. But I really like this structure. I'm glad that I did. I could have maybe trailed my stop to this low after we got this, but I wanted to wait for an order block closure to then confirm that this was a low. I didn't want to get reswept just because 10 came out. So I was hoping this was a resweep and that we'd go higher. And at this point, I thought that, again, it looked pretty good, right? So I was happy that I didn't trail my stop here early and that I didn't move my stop loss here because we would have been stopped out. And imagine if this thing continued running. But it didn't, right? But this was looking good. We were holding consequent encroachment at this 1 minute gap. So I still like this. I'm very happy with how I held this trade today. We end up getting this real spike in volatility right here. It ends up shooting down right here somewhere. It ends up happening right, I don't know when it happens. It happens like in a second. But this was, I knew, okay, I was like, yeah, we're cooked here now. But I didn't move my stop. I didn't panic. I didn't do anything emotional. And I got stopped out. And we took a loss, right? So real quick, I want to go over why this wasn't a great trade. I liked it because of 1 hour, right? But we didn't sweep any real liquidity, right? So we had a 1 hour gap here, but it wasn't an amazing one, right? We had the 1 hour fair value gap, and that I don't think it was in discount just based on eyeballing this. It was not, right? It was not in discount. Of the fair value gap wasn't in discount. So even though we tapped discount, right, we came down trade to discount of this range, we didn't actually get a PD array or a liquidity sweep below discount. So I could have expected lower. I should have held out for this low right here because this was a more prominent low in the chart. And if we look on the 15-minute, it makes a lot more sense for us to run all of this low resistance liquidity that we were building up overnight, run it all, and then go higher. So a way I could avoid this trade as well, this 5-minute close wasn't very good, right? It did close above, but it barely did, right? And a lot of times we can see when these types of wicks come in, this is a clear sign of a rejection off of this order block. So that's what I take away from this trade. Again, I'm happy with the management of it. I'm happy with all of it. It wasn't a horrible trade, and it wasn't one against my rules, but it's something that I can learn from, right? And that's the whole point. That's why I want to start following my rules better so that I can, or start following my rules every time so I can start identifying, okay, what went wrong with this trade, right? We had an SMT, we had the inversion, we had the change of state on the lower time frame, we had a good stop loss. We just took the wrong direction, right? Because we didn't wait for a more ideal entry, right? Also, we put in an SMT with ES this time. This this high right here, right? Right when this candle closed, we had already swept this high. So another reason I could avoid it, right? The 920 high right here. Notice how NQ did not reach up and grab that high. That was a big part of the liquidity I was trying to target. And 920 right here, ES actually did trade above at the same time at 950 right there. So right when this candle closed, 950, we had an SMT, another reason against the trade. So again, perfectly fine taking losses. And that was the first time where I really felt calm in a trade. Even though we learned from the trade, right? This is what you have to do. You have to sit here and reflect on the trade. But you can't get emotional. You can't lose and be emotional. I didn't get emotional today. That's something I struggle with, right? A lot of times I would take this loss and I would start panicking and I would start trying to do anything, right? I would take this loss and then I would do something like this. I would do something really dumb. And I would get in a short right away because, if I lost, it must be going lower. And I'll be like, I'll wait for the inverse, right? And guess what would happen? Guess what would happen if I took this inversion? I would say, oh, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go break even at these lows, right? And it's all going to be great. And a stop loss, I'm going to do a tight stop loss, 33 points, or I'm going to do a 50-point stop loss because I'm going to do 2 micros now because I want to, make my money back. And then guess what? We would get stopped out here because we wouldn't have been following our plan. So I'm very happy with that, right? And then at this point, I was now made a stipulation in my head that I said I will not take a trade. I will not take a long unless we sweep this low, right? I didn't care if we swept this low and continue higher. I said I wasn't going to take a long until we swept this low, or I wasn't going to short unless we got above the highs, right? Because I didn't want to short. So we end up trading slowly, right? This is why I was long biased as well, as we started building a lot of low resistance liquidity on the chart, and I was bullish anyways. We were taking all the low resistance liquidity draws. Now we had this massive imbalance I could expect some sort of reversal out of. So then I'm waiting. Cool. We get displacement through here, right? We have no inversion. We have no green candles. So we wait, and then cool. We put in a low. We put in a high. We resweep the low. I don't think we had an SMT here. I do not believe we had an SMT. We do not. That's fine. We resweep the low, which is something I love to see. I don't like to see us come down and instantly close back above here. I want to see us make a high, resweep, right, and then get the displacement. So what did we end up seeing? We end up seeing a change in state delivery, right? You could have entered on this candle right here. You could have had a position right here where you went 59 points and then targeted 1-to-1, right? You would have hit eventually. But what did I do? I waited patiently because, quite frankly, I just missed this entry. I wasn't paying attention. I still think that this is 10 a.m. power of 3 because, or 4-hour PO3 because this is where the 10 a.m. candle opened right here. And this would be where you could be expecting the candle to go to, right? Because this 4-hour candle, you can anticipate it to become a bullish candle, right? If you're expecting a bullish candle. You can expect the 10 a.m. open price to get revisited. So that's why I was bullish, right, with the low resistance liquidity draws, and we got the change in state delivery. So we kept waiting, right? I didn't chase an entry. Again, I'm happy that I didn't chase an entry. Part of me wanted to just go long right here, but I didn't chase the entry. I waited. We were starting to roll over. We had this gap. This is actually a unicorn model, I believe, because this is a breaker block, I believe. This is the change in state. This is a fair value gap aligned with it. This is a really high probability reversal right here. So I was waiting. I didn't really want to see us revisit the low, but we ended up getting a nice SMT here between the 1057, right? So if we go here, 1057, we have an SMT here, right? We have an SMT with these lows right here. 11 o'clock candle, we had an SMT, and why is this not working? There we go. We had an SMT right here. Again, a lower low on NQ with the 11 a.m. candle, right? SMT. So we had the SMT, and then this is where I got my entry. I wanted to see an inversion fair value gap right here. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see an inversion, but with this strong displacement, this strong bottom wick, just the way it was printing live time, I had a lot of conviction, and I entered off of this order block right here, or off of confirmation of the order block. I ended up getting in. Also, too, it allowed me to have a really good position because it allowed me to risk. I'm trying to risk 100 or 200 per trade, so it gave me a really nice stop loss. I got the low, which was exactly 50 points, which is exactly $200 on micros, and I ended up targeting a 1-to-1, so that got us even on the day. If we would have targeted for 2R, we would have gotten 2R, and we would have had a $200 winning day. So I did feel FOMO. I cannot lie. I did feel a little bit of FOMO for not getting that. But again, look what happened. We would have top tick our 2R, and it would have came back down to even. It would have never stopped us out if we'd held. But again, this is very difficult to trade. If you just took a trade off the change in state delivery here, right? If you just took this trade, then this would be the most sniper break-even tag of all time, just to rip up in your face. This is crazy. This is like ridiculous price action. But that was the trade. That was the trade that we took, and it was instant take profit. So I'll pull up the video here. I mean, I can't even mess this trade up, right? Like, that's how nice these trades are. I love the trades that you can't even mess up physically, because it's just like, yeah, you literally can't mess up. I almost set a limit order at this fair value gap to target 50 points, but we would have been sitting in a long trade. It would have worked. But yeah, let me pull up the execution video. And here we go, right? This was a trade. Again, it literally didn't have time for me to mess up because it went that smoothly, right? I had my stop loss drawn out the 1-to-1. I was waiting for the close. I really wanted to see us get an inversion there, but again, this, you might say I'm cap, but I really had the intuition to telling myself that, hey, just because that tiny inverse fair value gap didn't close, I have seen this so many times where you'll almost get a close with a really strong bullish reaction and it will just, the next candle will rip, right? So instead of waiting for the next candle to give me the inversion, right, which is this candle, right, we hit our break-even point. I'm fine going break-even here. Why? Because we've been in high resistance liquidity all day. Now I want to see us run it as low resistance liquidity. We end up just getting towards TP in like a second. I'm very, very, very happy that I held the TP, right? Even though, again, it was 1 minute trade, so it wasn't hard, but very easily I could have seen this reaction, been like, oh my gosh, I'm down on the day. Let me just take the 190 and just take a small red day. But no, I stuck to the plan. Look at that, 0 emotions on the win. Lock out the count instantly, not even thinking about another trade. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, right? Day done. Day done, right? And it felt amazing today, right? And that's the biggest thing I want to talk about in this video is just it felt amazing to follow my rules. It felt amazing to follow the plan, right? It just was a great day. And why was it a great day? It was a great day because I waited patiently after a loss, right? How many times have you guys seen me on this channel take a loss and just lose all control mentally, right? And just lose all control. It's so many times. So I'm just super, super happy with that. And yeah, man, real quick though, I'm still going to talk about the day more after this, but I really wanted to mention this. I have been trying to get a affiliate code with prop firms for a while now. And today I finally got one with Alpha. Whoa, man, the stumbling over my words is crazy. With Alpha Futures, right? You've probably seen them on TikTok from people promoting them. I've been waiting to get one of their accounts for a while because their rules are insane. And I'll go over why I believe they're really, really good rules. But use code Diego, D-I-E-G-O, DIEGO, right? Diego, right? Use that code and it gets you 10% off. I'll kind of show you what I mean here. If I were to go buy a challenge, if I use my code right here, if I apply the code, it gets me 10% off. So you'll save money, right? So if you went and you were buying that would be the 50K account. But if you were going to go and buy one of the bigger accounts, right? If you want the 150Ks, I don't trade those. But if you do, right? If you use the code, it will help you out a lot, right? It will be $23, right? That's $23 free, right? Off. Just use my code. And obviously it helps me out, right? It would help me out tremendously because obviously you guys see I'm not a profitable trader. So anything will help, man. So I really do appreciate if anyone is looking to go there. And honestly, again, I'm finally affiliated with them. But I was waiting to become an affiliate to start using them. Because Top Step, dude, I've reached out to them so many times, and they just say no every time, and it's annoying because I like Top Step, but apparently I don't have enough clout for them. But anyways, one rule that is so much better about Alpha Futures, and again, I'm not just saying this, like you'll see what I'm saying, right? The reason why this prop is so good and why so many people are starting to use them and why I've been looking to use them is because if you get funded with them, right? Don't switch. If you get funded with them, this is the part that is just amazing, right? The max loss limit does not slide to 0 at first withdrawal. So what does that mean, right? Obviously, if you guys read it, but it says, this has by far too accepted in the industry that other firms, even if you only withdraw $200 to $300, they immediately take away all of your additional drawdown. This rule plus par for targets with no withdrawing in the buffer zone basically turn your funded experience into a second eval, 100%. So wherever your max loss limit is the day of your request of your payout, it will be the same after receiving your money. So if you were at 49K, so if you can't get down to 49K on the day of withdrawal, you will still not be allowed to get down to 49K. It won't go to 0. So what does that mean? That is insane. That is insane. What does that mean? Right? It means that once you're eligible for a payout, you can withdraw anything that's in your balance. So right now on this Express account, I have a $200 balance, right? If I was eligible for a payout, I could withdraw this $200 and still have a loss limit in place. That is great, right? Because I can withdraw money and still have loss limit, right? But the way that Top Step works, and why, again, I've been waiting to get involved with Alpha Futures and get a code before I started using it, right? So I could, use it, right? This max loss limit, right? If let's say I get to $1,000, let's say I get my balance up $1,000 and I am eligible for a payout, and this would be what? Negative 1,000. So I couldn't lose $2,000, right? Because this is my buffer. I have a $2,000 buffer right now, right? And it's end of day trailing. So if I withdrew $500, right? Because you can only withdraw half. If I withdrew $500 from my balance, I would be left with $500 of drawdown, because they would now make my max loss limit 0. So whatever balance I would have left after withdrawal would be all I could lose. With Alpha Futures, you literally can, if you made $1,000 and you want to withdraw 500, you will withdraw 500 and your buffer will stay 1,500. So that is insane. So again, just wanted to mention that because it'll help me out, man. It will help me out. A lot of people use my code because obviously I'll get I think they said 10% of every purchase. So you guys get saving, right? I'm not saying you have to use them, but if you've been thinking about using them because you've seen the rules, if you didn't know that was one of the rules, I mean, that's really a game-changing rule, honestly, because now you don't have to worry about building a massive buffer to take your payout. If you've done well and you want to pay yourself out, you can do it, right, without having to make another $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and feel like you have to build this big buffer, right? So I will be starting an account with them next week. Obviously still trading on Top Step as well, but I really do love that rule. Like it's really, really cool. So yeah, if you guys have been considering using it, please use my code, man. Please use my code, right? And it's cool, man. It's cool to kind of see, it's cool to finally get a code, man. I've been trying to do that for a while, and it makes me feel like a real YouTuber. So just wanted to mention that while maybe some people were still viewing the video, because again, man, it will help me out. And apparently, right, if I can get 100 users through my code in a month, I will receive like a bonus or something. So that would be really cool. And also too, if people use my code enough to where I actually start seeing some monetary gain in my bank account, I will be doing giveaways, man. Like I will be giving back to anybody that uses my code. If you use the code and purchase it, send me a screenshot on Twitter or in the Discord or something like that. And every so often, dude, I'll start giving away people some free fundage, man. Because again, man, if you guys are gonna help me out, I always want to try and do my best to help you guys out. But again, right now, your boy is broke. So again, don't want to hammer it too much. Just wanted to mention that because I think it's really cool, and you'll be seeing me use Alpha Futures in the future now. But yeah, enough shameless plugging, man. You guys didn't come for that, but it's an exciting time, man, because it's always cool to have different opportunities and different ways to make some money. But back to the day. Again, I'm sorry about that, but wanted to mention it. Also, again, last thing, the links will be in the description. So just wanted to say that, man. I do appreciate everybody that will end up using it. I really will. Anyways, back to the day, right? Really, really good day. Why? Because I lost a trade, but I lost a trade by following my plan, right? And what do? We learn from it. We learn from it. Right here in this video, I broke down what we could have learned from it, what we could avoid doing in the future. And then we were patient. We were patiently waiting for another great setup. And we took it and we executed without fear. And we hit our 1-to-1 and we had our day done. We locked our account. I'm so happy. This day is almost better than yesterday. Yesterday feels better because I made money, right? But today almost is better because I didn't just take a dumb setup, right? Chasing a loss. I didn't overtrade. I stuck to my plan. And if I can continuously do this, right? If I can continuously do this, it will make me such a better trader. So I really am happy with the progress I've been making. I think that after blowing that last account, I've been coming with a new focus, right? A new drive, a new commitment to everything. And yeah, man, I couldn't be happier with the progress. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. And it's just going to come down to commitment, right? Commitment to doing this every single day, every single trade, every single opportunity. That's all it's going to come down to. That's all it takes for you as well, right? If you want to finally follow your rules, you have to just do it. And again, I say this before, and people have said it, and you might tell yourself this, and I've said it before and failed, but it's just try. Get up and try. If you fail, get up and try, right? And that's all I'm doing right now is getting up and trying again. I'm trying again. I'm trying to hold my trades. I'm trying to not move my stop to break even early. I'm trying to take profits instead of whatever. I'm trying to do not different things, or I'm trying to remove the things that I shouldn't be doing slowly but surely, right? And it's going to help. It's going to pay off. It's going to work, right? And I'm already feeling more confident. Just 2 days of following my rules perfectly, right? If we can do this for a month, think about how good off we'd be, right? Think about how good it will be if we can just follow our rules for a month, right? 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then it just becomes the normal, right? So please try and obviously we try our best, but really try, right? The only way I'm going to see success, and you guys are going to see it on this channel, the only way is by me just saying, you know what, I'm tired of doing the wrong things. I'm tired of losing a trade and then taking a bad one and then closing it early and then trying 16, 17 different trades and then losing, right? We could have lost our second trade, but at least the second trade gave us a better opportunity to win than just a gamble, right? So, again, man, I'm I'm just happy with this because this is what I need to be doing. This is what I need to be doing. Win, lose, draw. I was even telling myself, I was considering walking away if we didn't get what I wanted to see. I was going to walk away. If it hit 11:30 and I didn't have a trade, I was going to walk away for the day and end the day down. And that would have been great because came back. We won yesterday and we lost today, so we would have been even, right? Obviously, you lose on the drawdown because it trails you, but I would have been even, right? And I was more than happy with that. So, again, man, I'm super stoked with this. I'm super stoked with this day, and just got to continue it, man. Got to continue it. Just keep going. Get better. And that's the process, man. It's hard. It's long. It's slow. It's grueling, but it will come, right? I know it will come for me, for you, for anybody that puts their mind to it. I know it will happen. So, yeah, man. Arsenal sadly did knock Real Madrid out of the Champions League. Just thought I'd mention this just because, obviously, sad day for me, man. But as a Madrid fan, man, if they don't win the Champions League for many years to come, and this was the end of their era, right? Some people were saying, I hope it's not. I don't think it will be. But if it is the end of the era for them, man, I started watching them in 2014. Obviously, my dad's from Madrid. He loves Madrid. Big fan. But I've been watching this since 2014, so I've been blessed into the best generation, the most dominant team of all time, 6 Champions League wins in 11 years. Just unbelievable, man. And I will never take it for granted because if they go 20, 30 years without winning Champions League, and I'm 50 years old by the time they win their next one, then I am blessed beyond return to be able to see that type of performances by the team, all right? So, yeah, man, it's kind of sad to see because, yeah, who knows, though? They can make some change in the summer and be fine, but if it is the end, it's crazy because now I've officially, as a fan, I've seen them win the Champions League 6 times, and I've seen them get knocked out of the Champions League 6 times. So being even in terms of winning the Champions League to not winning the Champions League is absolutely ridiculous, and I won't take it for granted because that's insane. But just want to say that, obviously, I know like 99% of you guys aren't football or soccer fans and don't really care about that, but I love it, man. I just want to mention it. So I'm not going to ramble forever for anyone that likes to watch the whole way through. But again, I appreciate all you guys. Please subscribe and please use that code Diego on Alpha Futures if you want to use them, right? I'm not saying that you need to go use them if weren't planning on it, but if you were planning on using them, use my code, please. I'm begging. I'm on my knees, man. I'm on my knees. But in all seriousness, it would be cool, right? But yeah, man. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff, man. And yeah, we won't be trading tomorrow, but I'll be making a video tomorrow, I'm sure. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. I appreciate all you guys. I say it every single day, but I'm really grateful for it. We've been killing it on the channel recently. It's crazy. I think we did our biggest day on YouTube yesterday. In terms of just pure total channel views. So that's insane, man. So I appreciate all you guys that show support and really root for me, man. I really do. So I'll see you guys in the future. This looks like a nice short. I don't have a practice account anymore, so I can't just like slap it, but yeah, man. Let's see how this goes. But I'm ending the video here. I appreciate you guys. Tell somebody you love them. Get outside, go to the gym, do something, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.